Hello everyone, my name is Bree and welcome to Documented Journey. Should I say welcome to April? I'm not really sure. Anyway, this is a bullet journal setup video for April. I am really excited and really loving this journal. I think I found my sweet spot when it comes to mixing bullet journaling and planning, I guess, or tracking, mainly tracking, because I am technically still planning elsewhere. But this journal right here is pretty much to document my day, and I use it to track a few things. It's not a lot, it's just a few. But what I like to do, and this setup is very similar to last month, so if you would like to see me do another minimalist setup, then you can check out my March setup. It will be in the description box for you below. But it's relatively the same. I slap a sticker on this header page, I guess. It's just the April header page. And then I use the right-hand side more for future tasks, I guess. Just important dates that I need to remember for the month of April. And then I use the left-hand side for notes. Anything that I just need to jot down to remember, maybe ideas. It's just a blank page. It's there for me to use. I did not use it in March. I actually just stuck a sticker on there. It was my Patreon March reward sticker. But maybe I will utilize it this month. I just don't know. I think it is important to have just in case, but I don't know. I kind of like the simple, plain aesthetic look, so there's that. But with these dates that I'm writing down, or these important events, I do come back to this page regularly. It is right next to my tracking page, so it's something that I frequent often, and I really like how it's set up. I'm going to flip back to the March page just so you can kind of see what it looks like completed. All I did was fill in the squares. That's it. But like I said, I want to use that left side for something. This is what a pretty much full spread looks like for my tracker page. Again, my tracker is pretty minimal. I like to track my movement and my workouts in the calendar boxes. Plus it helps me remember what day it is, and I really like to see the monthly view. And so this is just really simple. So what I normally do is in the calendar, I write down what movement activity I did for the day. So a lot of things that I like to do are go for a walk. I like to row. We have a rowing machine. And then I love kettlebell and yoga. So I try and pick one of those activities every day, and I do them. If I don't, I don't bash myself in the square, meaning if it's the third, I don't write in the third that I did nothing and I'm horrible. I just call it a rest day. and then I move on to the next day and write what I did that day. In the trackers down below, I'm doing it a little differently this time. Last time I did more of a horizontal tracker, whereas this time I made, or I'm going to make, and you'll see it, I'm going to make 3 little calendar square grid things. Oh man. And with those, I'm tracking 3 things. I track my movement, so not only am I writing it what I did that day, but I'm also just coloring in the box, so that way I can see a whole cohesive overview instead of a detailed overview. And then in the second one, I am tracking my iron intake just to make sure that I am doing what needs to be done as far as keeping my iron levels up. And then the very last one, what I do is I track my inhaler. I am allergic to cats. And we own a cat, and so I have an inhaler, and I try to, the more I get outside, the better I am as far as my breathing goes, but I try to do my inhaler as infrequent as possible. And so I just track that, so that way I can maybe develop a pattern and then see how that goes. So that's pretty much my tracker pages. The last thing that I am going to set up is my weekly overview. This looks exactly like the weeks, so I just make it bigger to fit the space. And then what I do in here is I pretty much write a peak or a pit, so pretty much the main idea of the day, or maybe something that stood out, may it be good or bad. I try to focus on the good, because I think that if I put my energy into the negative things, then it just makes them worse. So I do try and focus on the good, but sometimes I do write about the negative thing that happened that day. I try and keep it only to a sentence, so that way I'm not giving it too much energy, but sometimes that is the standout, and so that's what I write. The pages after that are just for my dailies. I use 1 page per day, and with every different event, activity, memory, I separate it by paragraph, and I use an icon. These icons come from the Hobonichi stencils. I did ask in my March video if you all wanted to see that, and I got a few responses. I can do that in a future setup video if you're interested, but that is how I document my life. This is not a conscious writing journal. This is more just of a documenter. I do have a morning pages journal that I use, and it is pretty big. I use a decomposition notebook for that. These are my April pages. It is super quick and easy. I love how simple this bullet journal is. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. Until next time, I'll see ya.